Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Michael Quirke again, and I'm here today following up with you on my video from 2 weeks ago about EMDR therapy and some of the differences between attachment focused EMDR and the standard EMDR protocol. So, first of all, I want to say thank you. I received some very kind feedback and some comments and some emails from those of you who found my last email to be helpful. And that's really my goal. I want to help men and women who are seeking effective psychotherapy to find that therapy and get better outcomes. So, today, I want to say a little bit more about some of the key differences between attachment focused EMDR and the standard EMDR protocol. So, primarily and most importantly, there is in attachment focused EMDR, there is the primary focus of your work is going to be on specifically targeting your attachment related issues. So those might be things as your early relational trauma, your early childhood experiences with your caregivers, and um, those tend not to be the primary focus in standard EMDR. Now, another key difference is in the nature of the relationship that you're going to have with your therapist. In attachment focused EMDR, the therapeutic relationship itself is considered to be a crucial and foundational element of your healing process. So that means that your therapist is often going to be taking a more active, a more relational role and helping you to develop what's referred to in the attachment literature as a secure base for you. Again, this is different from the standard EMDR protocol, which assumes that you already have a secure attachment style that's in place. Um, and that, as you probably know, is often not the case. In attachment focused EMDR, you're also going to be dealing with an extended preparation phase. That's also different from the standard EMDR protocol. And the preparation phase in attachment focused EMDR, it's going to be longer. And that's because of what we just talked about. You're going to be focusing on building a strong therapeutic alliance, a good working connection that's supportive with your therapist, and ensuring that you feel safe and supportive, opening up and focusing on the thoughts and feelings that you need to work on. This tends to be more extensive work on areas like stabilization, developing emotional and psychological resources and skills, and developing your what we call affect regulation skills, your ability to regulate your own feelings and regulate the intensity of them in particular. So we're talking about an extended prep phase, and this is actually one of the major reasons why many clients fail to respond to the standard EMDR protocol, or why they sometimes get worse. And it's because the therapist and client aren't really doing enough to help the person stabilize. Now, in attachment focused EMDR, there is going to be more of an emphasis on gathering information about your attachment history. And um, there's a greater emphasis on exploring how your history affects your current relationships and your current emotional patterns. So we're talking about identifying, processing memories of your early bonding injuries and traumas. Now, your therapist, if they're doing attachment focused EMDR, is going to help you to develop a customized, what we call target selection. So that's the selection of processing targets, what you're going to focus on in therapy, and they're going to be they're going to have to do more with your own personal relationship and attachment bonding related memories. So therapists and clients might choose, for example, specific memories from your early life, and um, and those are probably going to be memories that have themes in them that are playing out in your current relational difficulties. Now, this not something that you're going to be doing on your own, most likely. Your therapist is going to be helping you to identify these themes and even to identify parts of your personality, a la internal family systems therapy or ego state therapy or schema therapy or the structural dissociation model, all these developmental parts models. In essence, you're going to be working with your repetitive traits, not just intrusive states that are triggered with standard PTSD, for example, as flashbacks that occur in response to a single traumatic experience. So, what I'm saying is that attachment theory is going to be incorporated, it's going to be woven in to your EMDR therapy. Your therapist is going to take techniques and principles from attachment therapy, integrate them into the standard EMDR protocol. So, as I mentioned in the last video, this is going to include exploring your internal roadmap, your internal working models, your emotionally laden beliefs about yourself, other people, the world, and even life itself. So here we're talking about attachment styles and how these impact your present day functioning. There's going to be more use of what we call relational interventions. And that means things like mirroring, validation, conversation, emotional attunement, and connection. And that's because we want to support you in processing these attachment related hurts and injuries and traumas. That's going to help you to experience and develop healthier, more secure relational patterns going forward now that you're an adult. Now, a key difference between attachment focused EMDR and standard EMDR is that there is more focus on your affect regulation. That means your emotional regulation. There's this much stronger emphasis on helping you develop your abilities to recognize your emotions, name them, regulate the intensity, and help you to develop the skills and the practices to do that. So we're talking about increased focus on managing your emotions. So, speaking of attachment, if you saw a little furry creature hopping around in the background, that's Buttercup. She's one of my main attachment figures. I'm a cat lover. Sorry for the distraction and the interruption, but she might be bouncing around. She may even give a meow or two if she's feeling friendly. So, again, back to the topic, we're talking about more work on developing and utilizing skills and resources so that you can self soothe and you can be a master at regulating your emotions. Now, overall, attachment focused EMDR, it does provide a more relational experience for you and a more attachment sensitive approach. It's going to be an approach to EMDR that is more tailored to you. And that's really important if your issues are more deeply rooted in your early life relational and attachment experiences. That's because the standard EMDR protocol assumes that you're a client who has what we call a secure attachment style, and that you're somebody who has had perhaps a traumatic experience that was really an outlying experience for you, and that you've lived a basically safe and supportive life. Now, as we know, that's not everybody. Many of us have had many things that we've had to deal with, and sometimes from an early age. And if that's the case for you, then you're going to get a better outcome from attachment focused EMDR. So, how can you take this information and use it? First of all, if you're looking for a therapist, an EMDR therapist in particular, but really any kind of therapist, you want to talk with them. You want to find out if they work with clients using an attachment-based lens or a developmental lens. Not everybody does that, believe it or not. Even though, you know, honestly, it's kind of common sense that we're shaped and sculpted by our experiences as kids. Believe it or not, that's there are many mental health practitioners that actually don't think that way, and so when they're coming up, helping helping you to come up with an effective treatment plan, they're not really thinking holistically about you as a human being who's lived perhaps decades. So that's one way you can use this information. The other way is to just really reflect, really honor what's the nature of the difficulty that you've been through. Have you been basically a happy, healthy camper and most things have gone your way, and then you ran into a problem like a natural disaster or an accident, or you're a crime victim? If that's the case, then the nature of the treatment's going to look very different than if you're a person who's actually had some other struggles, some other things going on. Okay, well, that's all I have for you for today. If you would, please like, subscribe, and comment. I love getting your comments. It's really fun for me to read the emails and the comments that I've been getting from those of you who've reached out to me. So please share as much as you like in the comments. Also share the video if you think that this could be helpful for somebody that you know. You're also invited to spend some time with my YouTube channel poking around. I hope you find helpful things there. And also my website. At this point, I've got over 400 blog article posts, videos on all sorts of trauma related issues, in particular trauma treatments, trauma modalities, developmental trauma, complex trauma. Again, my goal is to help you find effective mental health care. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Oh, there's Buttercup.